Okay, so we're going to design our Pong game. Essentially, these videos are here to help you if you're having any difficulty. To begin with, we're going to put our project info in. So to do that, you need to turn to page 17 in your Learn Game Salad Guide. Here, I'm just going to enter the title of our project, which is My First Pong Game. The platform needs to remain the same, so just leave it as is. You've got a resolution independence, which is ticked here. If you can just leave that ticked, essentially what that does, if you're using a different device, it will resize it and ensure that you have the best resolution for whatever device. Here we've got our description, so I'm just going to delete that description. This is a remake of the famous Pong game by Atari. Okay, we don't have instructions or tags here, so we're just going to Command and S that. So that's Command and S for save, and I'm going to save it as Pong game. If I now go to scenes, I'm going to select initial scene here, and this is where I'm going to add my actor. Okay, you need to now turn to page 25 in your book, and you can find out what information you need to add for your actor. If you select the plus option, make sure that this says actor here and it's on grey, so it's selected. Double click on your actor 1. The first thing we're going to do is change the actor's name to Rat Player 1. Then the size needs to be changed. The width is 16 and the height is 120. The color is going to remain as white. You need to go to physics now. In the physics area, we're going to change the density to 500. So that's like the gravity of the player. Friction remains at 3. Bounciness and restitution are the same. We're going to change that to 0. And fixed rotation, we need to tick that box. And I believe that is everything. Okay, so if we just now, so we've done all of our attributes. All we need to do is add our rules in. So I'm going to select create rule on the right hand side here. The rule that we're creating is when the actor receives an event, which is the key going down, then the keyboard, once you've pressed it and it's in the down state, then we want a move behavior. If you turn to page 29, if you've not done that already, you can get all the details for that, for this here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my behaviors in the bottom corner, my behavior library. If I just press M to find move, and I'm gonna drag that move behavior into my area here. If you can see this little dial here, this is our degrees dial. Currently it's at 0, so if I move it around to 270, because we're going down, and if you click, you can see the dial has changed to a down position. So now I've got my first down control. Okay. While we're here, we may as well add our next rule, another rule. So I'll go to create rule here, and I'm going to say when actor receives event key, and this time we're looking at the up key. It's also going to be in the down state, so in other words, you press the button, and we're going to now add another move behavior. If I just drag move over here, this time rather than 270 degrees, it's going to be 90 degrees. And when you click out, you can see it's gone to the top position. Alright, the last element we're going to add here on page 31, I believe, in your Learn Game Salad book, is our constraint attribute. The constraint attribute keeps the player on one specific axis, and it keeps it to be able to, it restricts the movement. So essentially, we need to restrict the x-axis movement to allow our player to move freely on the y-axis, but it needs to stay in one position on the x-axis, so not moving back and forward, just up and down basically. So we select right player 1, the position, and the x-axis. If you double click here, and we want to restrict it to 20. And let's see how that looks. So if we just Command and S again, we select our preview button here. We go back to our scene, initial scene, and drag our player onto the screen. When we go to preview, you can see that on the x-axis it remains 20 pixels in. Okay, but if we press up and down, it can move freely. But if we try back and forward, we cannot move. Okay, and that's excellent. That's what we wanted to achieve.